Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Hello, and welcome to episode number 211 of Business Behind the Scene. Now, in this podcast today, we wanted to share with you a few things that are happening when business owners hire local team members. And I've been in business for 11 years, and I have had everything from people overseas, offshore, local contractors, you name it. And what I've noticed is that sometimes we have the belief that business owners, we just believe that it's either one or the other. So we think, okay, I'm going to hire someone. Do I hire locally or do I hire offshore? Do I have to hire someone here full-time or do I have someone there full-time? And for me, that is not the question. For me, the question is, what does the business need? And who is going to be the right person to do it? It's really irrelevant if it's here or there. Because what I believe, what I have done in my businesses, and this is one of the biggest mistakes that I did in the previous business, is that I thought, and I truly believe that it was either local or offshore. Instead, what I've noticed that works really best, not just for me, but for other business owners as well, is to merge the role for local team members supported by an offshore staff members. That is when truly magic happens. I've done it myself. My clients are doing it. My friends in business are doing it. I just think it's a truly game changer. Why? When you hire someone local, it's really obviously can be more expensive, right? You have to pay super taxes and you have to pay higher wages, obviously in the cities and local places. So it's obviously going to be more expensive for us. And if you bog down this person that is already should add a lot of value to the business, if you bog them down with admin tasks, with small jobs, with things that are not as important for the business, but then must be done, like admin work, you cannot overwhelm them with that, because then what happens is that they're not going to be able to focus on the things that your business actually need. And so what I suggest is to merge the role. So you get a local person, which I have two at the moment, and the local person are supported by offshore staff, not just one, but multiple. So they can get faster results for their role because they have the support of team members that do all the back end for them. So they do admin for them, they fill out reports, they do all the PDFs. Like we have a salesperson in a BDM working with us, and they have a team, not just one, but they have a team of virtual assistants that they can tap into whenever they want. We have a team, they are graphics designers. We've got a team that are marketers. They are email, they can write emails, they can write content. They've got EA they can get help from. They've got sales assistants. So they can have meetings with all these staff members. And if your business is just not at that level, you can just have one person supporting them. But for my case, we have multiple. And I love that because the person that it's here locally, that is very high level wage, right? I can have the value of the person maximized because they now have the support of offshore staff members. And it's not just about the money that you save, but it's also about the support and the longevity of someone that is local and they feel supported by an offshore team. They now don't have to do all the boring jobs. They now don't have to worry about my admin. They don't have to worry about the calendar. They've got someone managing that for them. So the role expands and go to a whole new level, and they can really focus on decision making. They can focus on strategy. They can focus on, for example, my salesperson. They don't have to spend 3 hours preparing a report or who they have to call. They just do a meeting with the team. They say, okay, I want to call all the people that have clicked on this type of emails. I want to call all the people that have a call last year. Prepare me the list, and tomorrow I'll call them all. And you go into the business the day after, and there she is all day calling, and she's getting results. She's getting bookings. She's getting things because she didn't have to spend time in the back end of the business. And sometimes people are like, oh, but I don't have that many tasks. And it's like, that is never true. That is never the case. We always have lots of ideas, lots of things. Like, for example, at the moment, we have a conference coming up and we just wanted to work on a sponsorship packages. So we had at a meeting, we brainstorm it, and then we pass it along to an offshore staff member to create the PDF for the sponsorship. And then my BDM has been back and forth with the offshore staff to be like, is this good? Okay, tweak this, tweak that. And I don't have to have a BDM spending hours in Canva tweaking a PDF. That's not what I want. I want them to guide the offshore staff member to make that happen, while in the meantime, the offshore staff member work on that. The local person can make phone calls, can go and visit businesses, can do what they're here to do, which is get me business. So I think that sometimes we forget and we think that we want to save money, be like, it is a this or that. And it's not this or that. It's about being smart with our tasks and understand that hiring someone locally on 70,000, 80,000, 100,000 a year, it's going to be a pity to have that person working in admin, to have that person working in reports, to have a person working in Canva on a PDF or working on a email series. Like, I want them to check and approve stuff and go fast and continue to work on the things that are going to bring business in. That's the only way that I can have them succeed. That's the only way that I can have them reach the KPI. And that's the only way that I can make them stay with me long term, because they're not going to run away because they're overwhelmed and tired and they can't work on this because they spend weeks on the back end of the business. So I often hear businesses that have local hires feeling overwhelmed with admin work, and rather than hire another full-time employee in locally, they should have an offshore staff to handle all the things. And I found it fascinating how many people are here that is like, oh, I have a VA, but now I'll just hire someone locally so they can do it all. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Don't get rid of an offshore staff member to hire locally and bog them down with admin and reports and things, because it's not going to work and it's not going to be long term and it's not going to be the best way to maximize your local staff members. So I am the opposite. And a lot of my clients are doing the same, and they're finding it incredible because we hire based on how can we save the time of the person that I'm hiring locally. And let's say that if I have a virtual assistant working on the back end of the business and the admin and all the stuff, and then the business is growing and I need more people here to be able to call clients, to support me on things that are local, that's great. I'm never going to get rid of the VA. I'm going to teach them how to work together. But what happens? Sometimes the person locally, they don't know how to delegate. They don't know how to work with someone overseas that is not in the office. And so a lot of the time, they will be the one telling you, don't worry about that. I can do it all, because they want to show you the value. But it's the opposite. It's as business owners, then we need to go and say, no, I don't want you to do any of those things. I had to guide and teach and help my team to understand you are way more valuable to me making phone calls, going door to door, or calling clients and making sure that the quality of the work is good, to make sure that they feel supported. That's what I want my local staff members to spend time in. I don't want them to spend time in admin. I actually would not be happy if a local team member come to say to me, get rid of the offshore staff, I can do it all, because that means that they don't have the best interest of the business. They have the only interest that they have is their own, because they want to keep the job, and they're thinking that if they have an offshore staff and the business obviously is paying for two, they're not going to be able to keep this job long term, right? Because they know that the offshore staff eventually they're going to be that good, they're going to be able to pick up the phone, they're going to be able to replace them completely. So let's be smart as business owners. Let's not believe what a local team member tell us, because a lot of the time they don't have our best interest, our business best interest. A lot of the time it's people, right? It's normal. They have their own interests. So we need to, as business owners, guide them to say, no. The offshore staff doesn't go anywhere. You need to learn how to work with them. They are priceless to the business. They've been with us for a while. They're already trained. They already know everything. Let's work together. And when you work that out, it's going to be a game changer. So I'm going to share all of this stuff and our conference that is coming up in May 2025. If you haven't got your ticket yet, get it on now because we have a special price at the moment. So go in, get your tickets to the conference because we're going to teach you all these things that nobody really talk about, and how to grow and scale your business by hiring smartly, but hiring people, by keeping the focus of the business first and your cash flow and what is the best thing for your business, not for, let's do this so that we just squeeze everything in and it's just not going to be a long-term great decision. So I hope that you find this call valuable, this call or this podcast, I should say. Thank you so much for listening, and I shall see you around. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this amazing podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this, you're definitely going to love my Facebook group where I've got over 11,000 people in it, and they're all business owners successful like you. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge, and in there I do classes every week, and I get to interview my clients and I get to teach you all the things that I've done to get my business to 100K plus a month. So I look forward to have you in there. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge Facebook group in Facebook. I look forward to see you there. Ciao.